mass transportation has helped to change the face of the nation has proven beyond a doubt that the great bulk of the nation's goods can be moved more efficiently, more swiftly, more dependably on rails than it can by any other system of transport ever devised. The significance of railroads will increase in the years ahead. American business is growing by leaps and bounds. Railroads are almost the only form of mass transportation which can offer an important reserve of hauling capacity to meet the growing demands of American industry and commerce. Railroads have been building for the future. During the past few years, billions of dollars have been spent on America's rail lines. The Rock Island lines have been in the forefront of this building program. During the past decade, this railroad has rebuilt and modernized plant and structure more thoroughly than most of the nation's major lines. This program of planned progress has placed the Rock Island in position to give a service to shippers and travelers which is unsurpassed. Rock Island occupies a strategic position on the railroad map of the nation. Its lines serve 14 of the most productive and diversified states in the Union. 8,000 miles of modern steel rails are in its network. This is a fabulous empire, this Rock Island wonderland, which stretches westward from Chicago, St. Louis, and Memphis to the mountains of the west and through its friendly connections onto the Pacific coast. It reaches from the twin cities of the North Star State to the Gulf ports of Houston, Texas City, and Galveston of the Lone Star State. It is an empire dotted with great and growing cities where much of the nation's business is done. It is an empire of prairie vastnesses and of broad, rich valleys where growing things abound. It is an empire of progress and opportunity unsurpassed. Since 1852, the Rock Island has been helping industry to grow and expand in this area. There are still hundreds and hundreds of available industrial sites which offer the finest advantages of good transportation, adequate power supply, and skilled labor. Throughout that empire, the Rock Island now operates one of the finest railroads in the world. Heavy steel rail, superbly laid and ballasted, makes it a truly velvet highway. But it is a tough highway, too, able to take the punishing weight of thousands of tons of freight speeding along at mile-a-minute clip. Modern bridges have been built to handle these tremendous loads. Spectacular in Rock Island's bridge program is this great structure over the Cimarron in western Kansas. Its building was one of the outstanding feats of railroading. Its construction, together with track relocation, grade elimination, and curve reduction, aided greatly in speeding up transcontinental freight and passenger schedules, thus making Rock Island the preferred route between east and west. All Rock Island main lines are genuine speedways. Curves and grades have been reduced to a minimum. Over these superhighways of steel, rocket freights and rocket passenger trains travel with speed, with safety, with dependability far in excess of anything mass transportation knew a few short years ago. Improvements in motive power, of course, have been spectacular. The modern diesel-electric locomotive, adopted by the Rock Island shortly after its first introduction, has all but replaced the old iron horse. Along with improved steam locomotives, which still have their place on modern railroads, diesels give the Rock Island a capacity to move tremendous quantities of the nation's goods with a dispatch which is truly revolutionary. A vast fleet of new and of continually reconditioned freight cars of all types is part of the equipment reservoir of the modern Rock Island. The most modern devices for traffic control ensure the swift, safe, and dependable movement of Rock Island trains. On the busiest sections of the line, centralized traffic control is in operation. This system eliminates countless delays in the dispatching of trains, enabling one man to see at a glance and to control the movement of all trains in his control area. A movement of a hand, and he has thrown electrically a switch which may be many miles distant from him. This enables a train to take another track without delay. Centralized traffic control actually makes one track do the work of two tracks the work of four. It assures a continuous maximum flow of traffic in either direction with the utmost of safety. Classification yards, which are miracles of automatic operation, are another Rock Island development designed to accelerate the speed with which freight is handled. Whole cuts of cars like this move over the hump and are sorted in a matter of minutes so that they may be made up into trains for various destinations. In these yards, the cars move entirely by force of gravity. Their movement is controlled by skilled towermen whose control boards move distant switches. They also actuate pneumatic retarders to regulate the speed of the cars. So perfect is the control which each operator has over the cars in his section of the yard that they move with velvet smoothness to their appointed positions and take their place in the string with never a bump or a jar. Classification yards like this save hours, sometimes days, in the movement of freight. Rock Island service standards have kept pace with the physical development of the railroad. Rocket freight is handled with the utmost dispatch from the moment the railroad receives it until it reaches its final destination. In the handling of package freight or in the loading and unloading of whole cars, the emphasis is increasingly on mechanical methods, on ways which will save time, save cost for the shipper. Mobility is the most vital ingredient in America's system of mass production. American railroads, like the planned progress, Rock Island, are making it possible for us to expand the horizons of American business and to bring the good things of life to more and more people. The Golden Horn of Plenty moves on wheels and rails, on Rock Island's wheels of progress. This emblem stands for progress, and wherever you see it, whenever you see it, you see a badge of service to shippers everywhere.